It's time for high school football. This week we turn back the clock to November 3rd, 2017, and the final regular season game at the Pit between the Gators and the rival EA Spartans. Both teams enter the final week of the regular season with 8 wins on the year, and a Santa Maria win would tie the Gators with EA for the district title. To win their second straight in the series and share the district title with the Spartans, the Gators would have to overcome a first-half deficit. Easton Roth and myself, Lyle Boudreau, have the call on this week's Ascension Glory Days on the Eatel Game of the Week. And now both East Ascension and Santa Ma's fans running to their respective sides. The Santa Ma students bringing their flags over to the student section for Santa Ma, and EA doing likewise on their side. David Swacker, this has got a great matchup potential. Both teams at 8-1. You've coached 9 of these as the head coach at Santa Ma High. What is the mindset right now of the head coaches?
Well, you've had a lot of preparation, and look, that preparation starts all the way back in the summertime. And you're just hoping that all the preparation that you've done will allow your kids to play at their maximum. And if they play at their maximum, you always feel like you got a good shot to win.
Well, you see there the coaches' records over the years. David Swacker had a lot of success in this series. 7 wins in 9 games.
Well, the thing they don't list under my name is assistant coaches and players. They were outstanding.
But they have had some really interesting matchups. You can see Bill Beasley, 3-7. As we're going to have a momentary delay, but we're so glad that you are with us here tonight. And last night, this whole week is a special week whenever EA and Santa Ma play. And last week, you had a situation where, or last night I should say, you had the shout out at Lamar Dixon. And if you see orange, that's going to be Santa Ma. And when you see camouflage, that's going to be EA. And David Swacker, you were there last night. Why don't you tell us what it was all about?
Well, number one, it was loud. And my wife keeps telling me that I have a hearing problem. I didn't have a hearing problem last night. You see all of the kids at each school, all the support groups, all of the players, all of the coaches, all there and enjoying this one last thing before we kick up this ball game right here. It was a really fun night, and I think everybody that went, really appreciates all the great things that so many of the Booster Club members, the community people, just a whole lot of support from everyone. And in order for that to happen, Lyle, it takes a lot of folks. And look, every support group was there for both schools. The players, the coaches, the fans. Great night.
Well, they gave out the big check. The booster clubs, as they do every year, they raise so much money. You see there, $140,000 have been given to each school since 2008. $280,000 has been raised the week of this game. You see Coach Darnell Lee over there going into his second Santa Ma EA matchup as a head coach.
And he has to be really excited about all the work his coaches and players have put in for this game, and really has done a tremendous job this year.
Ryan Grimion is going to kick off, and you see David Oliver. I think his first year he was 0-9, so he's had some catching up to do, and he's done a heck of a job. 62-43. Another 8-win season, 3rd year in a row. We're ready for football. This is the 38th time this community has watched this game, and here we go. Ryan Grimion will kick it in the end zone for the touchback. Let's take a look at Halen Miller, the starting offense for the Santa Ma Gators.
All right, Santa Ma Gators on offense. You have Halen Miller, the quarterback, Cade Nelson, the running back. The receivers, Grant Alexander, Tate Broussard, Hector Rodriguez, and KJ Franklin. Offensive line, left tackle, Luke Orey, Nick Goins, Bo Grimion, Carl Mears, and Brandon Thomasy at the right tackle.
So it'll be a 1st and 10 after the touchback at their own 20-yard line. These two ball clubs, they know each other well. Here we go, 1st down, and it'll be a keeper by Halen Miller. And Miller's going to get about 4 yards. Why not fake it to Cade Nelson? Let's look at the Spartans on defense right now.
Darren Wilson on the play for the Spartans.
Spartans on defense. The three defensive guys, Sean Hall, Stanford Knockham, and Jordan Campbell, the defensive line. Yeah, your linebackers are Adrian Johnson, Quantrell Boudreaux, Derek Smith, Darren Wilson, and in the backfield you got led by Jamel London, Kawan Mitchell, Avery Johnson, and Cameron Gocho.
Wide open, KJ Franklin's got a first down, out of bounds, out close to the 33-yard line. Halen Miller completes his 122nd pass of the year, and for KJ Franklin, that is his 27th grab and a first down.
Watch right here, just a little short pass, a little out right there by Franklin. And the big thing is he picks up about 5 extra yards for the first down.
This is Cade Nelson now shifting back. And it will be a give to Nelson right up the middle. And Nelson across the 35. He's got about a 4-yard gain on a first down run. Adrian Johnson wraps him up first at linebacker. You see the orange jerseys for Santa Maria. Second down now and about 6. This is the first drive of the night. 3 down lineman for East Ascension. Miller's going to keep it. Miller's got a nice run on a first down. He's across the 45 out to the 48-yard line. And 28 yards picked up on this drive.
Great fake by Nelson and good job of blocking on the left-hand side again. Nice little fake by the quarterback and getting up in that hole, picking up the first down.
Franklin's the young man in motion now. Empty backfield. Miller to throw against the 3-man rush. Miller scrambles. He's going to run. He's got some good yardage. It's a positive yardage in the Spartan territory at the 49. So he turns what could have been a sack into a 3-yard gain.
Well, Miller does a good job just looking over, moving around, and this is where I see he's improved throughout the year. Maybe taking off on that run a little bit too soon right there. He looked down the field and make sure he looked at to his 3rd and 4th receiver.
Give it to Nelson. Boy, Nelson runs hard as he charges to the 45-yard line. And we're going to get our first 3rd down coming up. It's going to be 3rd and about 3.
All these are like little read plays for the quarterback to where, you know, possibility that he might throw a little quick pass or the quarterback reading that defensive end to where he might keep it. To me, this is where the game's won and lost right here.
Miller rolls left to throw, got a receiver, but he threw it too high. He had a man wide open, trying to get it to his favorite target on the year, Grant Alexander, but he overshot him. And now Santa Maria with a 4th down and 3. You know, the play call was there because the receiver would have had the first down had he made the grab. Hector Rodriguez punts for the 4th time this year, and he hit this one and shanks it. But it's going to take a nice gator roll. That could have ended up being about a 10-yard punt. Instead, it's out of bounds inside the 30-yard line. And it's going to be a first down for East Ascension as they'll get it for the first time. And let's check the Spartans on offense.
Well, the Spartans on offense will be Jason Wakefield at quarterback, running back Thomas Levy. Wide receivers are Tyreek Johnson, Shamari Thompson, Marquell Stewart, Siobhan Robinson. On the offensive line, Isaac Reddick, Palo Ayo.
And look at this play, wide open and dropped. The Spartans ran a trick play on first down. They had a receiver on the sideline that did not come to the huddle. Had a trick play, and it was there to be had, and the ball was dropped.
Well, that right there, you know, the problem that I see right there, if the play works, you're all excited. If it doesn't work and you know he's wide open right there, now you're stuck here 2nd and 10, knowing that you had a chance to roll off some points right there.
Well, you know you're going to see all the stops pulled out in a ball game like this as this handoff's going to be to Shamora Thompson, and he's going to be knocked down in a hurry. Thompson hadn't carried the ball a lot in a running back position. He's caught 20 passes, but there's that inside handoff. Spartans trying to see if they got a little bit more speed, but the Gators just don't let them go wide. It's going to bring up 3rd and 10. Got to give credit to Santa Maria so far. Sack! Down goes Wakefield. He's going to be brought down by the big guys up front. Looks like it's Johnny Johnson and Brandon Bell.
Johnny Johnson.
And Wakefield is sacked. Spartan drive blows up, and they're going to have to punt it away. And they're going to send in Cade Kernan to punt.
Well, basically, both defensive ends, or defensive tackles, whatever you want to call them, the last man on the line of scrimmage. Outstanding job with the outside rush. Tackles could not hold off them, and quarterback didn't have a chance to get rid of the ball.
4th down and 19. Kernan's going to hit it at about his own 10-yard line. Gators are going to get great field position. Here is the punt, line drive type punt. Take a Spartan roll, and a big Spartan. Boy, they got a nice bounce there of about 25 extra yards. And Santa will get it at their own 26-yard line.
So who's at the advantage right now? Because East Ascension knows that they had a shot at a score right there, and Santa Monica knows that they've gotten a couple of first downs and had a chance on the pass. So let's say what happens for both teams on this second time with the football.
Yeah, we'll see what kind of adjustments have been made. Got a man in motion on 1st down. Hale in middle of the quarterback. Here is Cade Nelson. Nelson picks his hole and dives ahead for 5 yards. And, you know, why not? You'll take 5 every time. Well, we're inside 7 minutes to go in the quarter. Nelson again. This time Spartans stuff it up pretty good. And Nelson's going to be about 1.5 yards shy on 3rd down. But for Santa Monica so far, Squack, it's been short yardage needed on 3rd down. Well, they had a 3rd and 3 a moment ago and missed on a pass. Let's see what they do now on 3rd down. They need to get it to the 36-yard line. Nelson, why not? And look at the Spartans meet Nelson in the backfield. They didn't bring him down, but they stood him up, and a nice job by EA's defensive front.
They bring in the extra back in the backfield, so you're more or less like you have an eye back, and you're running just a power play or an ISO play, you know, just a strong play right there. And
Rodriguez gets this one off the side of his foot, and it's going to go sideways. And the Spartans have flipped the field with the kicking game. And I think the advantage coming in probably was to Santa Monica side with the kicking game. But as it is, EA is going to now be at the 39. There you see the results from last week. Let's take a look real quick now at the Santa Monica defense as they'll come out on the field with their backs against the wall a little bit, because it's at the 39-yard line.
Well, the 3 defensive linemen are Johnny Jones, Brandon Bell, and Jacob Furlow doing an outstanding job. Jacoby Landry, Colton King, Reed Babin, and Howard Abear are your linebackers. And in the secondary, Ben Parker, Tyson Coward, Darius Smith, and KJ Franklin.
Here we go with a Jamel London in at the Wildcat. London gives it off to a running back who breaks away and gets 2 yards.
Well, this is something that, not knowing any different, but I just think with the success that they've had with Jamel London at quarterback, running whatever they're running, and you can see right here, you're going to see a lot more of this in this game.
C.J. Smith a moment ago, and look at London. That run by Street a moment ago was for no gain. This is down to the 36, and you got to wonder right now, it's going to be 3rd and 7 as we look at it. Is this maybe 4-down territory?
London's your guy that they're going to count on to really make plays for him tonight, and you see him early in the game.
You know, I like that idea, though, putting London in on the plus side of midfield.
Well, you have an empty backfield now. Let's see what Coach Lee has dialed up here.
Wakefield over the middle, almost intercepted, and a huge hit by the Gators defensively as Shamar Thompson got smoked from behind after the ball was tipped, and it is now going to be 4th down. It's 4th down and 7. They do snap it back, a little pooch kick, but might have got too much of it. And it's going to scoot in the end zone, and that doesn't end up gaining very much yards, about a plus 16 on the net yardage. And it is going to be now at the 20-yard line where it's 1st and 10 for Santa Monica with 3:40 to go in our first quarter. The athletic training staff of East Ascension High School would like to thank SKR Construction Corporation, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic Foundation, Pico Builder Supply, Donaldsonville Glass and Body for their support of the EA Sports Medicine Program. Gators dodged a bullet there. Spartans had a golden opportunity. This is going to be Miller on the run. Gets away, turns the corner, ducks his head, and from way downfield is going to come a flag. Probably going to get a holding call go against Santa Monica here, but this is a nice run by Miller.
Boy, he breaks it outside right there. Nice little block on the outside, and the flag comes from seriously in center field.
They might have got the wide receiver on a block in the back. I think if we look at it again, that could be. Yeah, they're going to wave it off, but I think if we look at it again, you're going to see. It could have been a block in the back. Watch it coming up right there.
Well, it's hard to tell, but I know this, whatever he saw, it was from a long range. And you see they've changed the positioning of the officials now where you have that deep back judge.
Well,
or maybe I think the official's actually on the field now, Lyle.
Well, the officials talked about it, decided to wave off the flag, and a first down run by Nelson. And Sandoval's out to the 34-yard line. So under 3 minutes to go, scoreless first quarter, but I don't think anybody's surprised by it being scoreless.
Yeah, East Ascension is showing that typical three-man front that they always have, and they have had a lot of success this year, stopping a lot of good teams, a lot of good football teams with those three down linemen and that 4 or 5 linebackers set behind them.
Well, they started Franklin in motion one way, then they came back the other way, handed it off to him, and that gains about 2 yards.
And, you know, when you're doing things like that, Lyle, you're just trying to change some tendencies that you've done throughout the year. You know, everybody's got every film on everybody. I mean, they know exactly, you know, what everybody does. And you know, you might been practicing things for weeks that you're going to try in this game.
So you're saying there's no secrets at this point? Well, that's going to be a takedown, and that's going to be a holding call as Miller gets a first down run, but it's all going to come back. Spartans got some pressure, and one of the offensive linemen just rode to the turf. One of the rushers, you're going to see it coming up on the right of your screen right there. As that was Jordan, make that Deshaun Hall, who was being held. And this is going to back Sandoval up. You know, let's mention right here, Swag, that both these ball clubs are going to get good seeds in the postseason. They're both in good shape. Of course, you just have so much here at stake for pride, district championship, co-district championship, you know, and of course, just being Sandoval EA.
And Lyle, the big thing is, and I know this sounds a little bit crazy, but now with the select, non-select, no telling how far your team can actually go. So you want to be the highest seed you could possibly be for home field advantage.
Wide receiver is going to catch it downfield. That's Grant Alexander. And for Grant, the senior just caught his 41st pass of the year, and it was second down and 24. Now third and manageable. So they pretty much got half of what they needed on second down. So now with third down, clock approaches a minute to go in quarter number 1. And we're going to get a timeout called by East Ascension. We'll take a break. 1:07 to go, quarter number 1. We are scoreless from the pit on the Eatel Game of the Week.
Piku Builder Supply, your one-stop lumberyard, provides an extensive selection of quality building supplies for your new construction and remodeling. We offer computer-aided estimating of your building and remodeling plans, as well as blueprint copies. From humble beginnings to becoming the industry leader in Gonzales and beyond, Piku proudly supports our local community because we believe in giving back to those who have had a hand in our success. Let the experts at Piku Builder Supply help you with your new project today.
You care about your car. So do we. Donaldsonville Glass and Body has been around for over 40 years, providing unparalleled collision repairs and customer service, especially when you and your car are having the worst day ever. When you demand exceptional workmanship, call Donaldsonville Glass and Body. Free pickup for your collision repairs and get it back as good as new. It's your choice, so why not choose the best? Donaldsonville Glass and Body.
Throughout tonight's game, you'll be seeing pictures of the shout-out last night. Sandoval students all decked out in orange. They want to be seen by the students who are all decked out in camouflage because they're Gator hunting. Always been a good rivalry. The shout-out always a night before.
Nobody in Louisiana does it better than the EA Sandoval game.
Third down and 12. Miller. Got a receiver, Franklin, first down. It was second and 24, and just like that, the Gators get it up near midfield.
outstanding job. Looks like they had a little trips with a little 4 vertical right there and did a good job of hitting him in that hole.
Kyle, you just caught his 17th pass of the year. He's had some big grabs for the Gators. A long throw out here. Caught. Nice move. Inside the 45. That is going to be a nice job by M.J. Becknell, I believe.
You know, what you want right here is 4 or 5 yards and a really good job. Not some great blocks, but blocks that got in the way of defenders and tacklers right there for big yardage and 2nd and short, Coach.
MJ only with his 3rd catch of the year. And there goes K. Nelson, 30. Oh, he slipped and fell. Tried to get it to the sideline and slipped and fell at the 25-yard line.
Watch this, right up the middle right there. Just hits that little seam right there made by the offensive lineman and picks up 10 or 15 yards real quick.
Well, 12 minutes of football, no score. We're coming back. Quarter number 2 on the Eatel Game of the Week. The athletic training staff of East Ascension High School would like to thank SKR Construction Corporation, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic Foundation, Pico Builder Supply, Donaldsonville Glass and Body for their support of the EA Sports Medicine Program. Lyle Boudreaux along with David Swacker back to a standing room only pit, and as we look around this building or this football stadium, Swack, they got them packed in tonight. We figured it would be. It is some kind of warm for November, and this place is filled up, and why not? 2 8-1 teams slugging it out, scoreless after 1. At the 25, Spartan territory, Gators with a 1st down. Cade Nelson, why not? Nelson's inside the 20, still on his feet. 8-yard run to the 17-yard line. And right now, let's talk about that offensive line for Sandoval. They're doing the job.
Well, especially on this left side, but Luke Ori and Nick Goins and Bo Gotro are really doing a good job. Sometimes they pull in guards like Carl Mears and Bo Grimion and Brandon Thomasy at the right tackle.
Nelson, 1st down, 10, 5, Gators on the board, touchdown. Cade Nelson has a touchdown run. See if they use the swinging gate or not. Now they'll line up for the conventional kick. Hector Rodriguez is 30 of 32. That is a pretty good high school percentage.
Well, Hector's stepped in for Briggs Bourgeois and done a tremendous job in the kicking game the whole year. I mean, East Ascension and Santa Mar blessed with nice kickers. It really helps out when you have a chance to kick.
Kicks up and good, and with 11:26 to go, quarter number 1, 7-0, Santa Mar on top. Santa Mar Band and Gatorettes excited about that. We want to thank our food provider tonight, Pot and Paddle Jambalaya Kitchen, for taking care of us tonight with Pastalaya. Pot and Paddle Jambalaya Kitchen with 3 locations, including Cabela's Parkway in Gonzales. If you are looking for lunch, jambalaya, pastalaya, chicken and sausage gumbo. I promise one day it'll get cold. They got daily lunch specials, dine in, carry out catering. Visit the Pot and Paddle at one of the 3 locations. From jambalaya and gumbo to daily lunch specials, Pot and Paddle with Cajun dishes to satisfy your hunger. Pot and Paddle Kitchen. Check them out on the web at potandpaddle.com. East Ascension offensively just has had nothing going right. They just have not been able to get anything going. But right now they trail 7-0.
And look, Lyle, it started with that first play of the game.
And respecting the kick game for East Ascension, they're going to kick it out of bounds, and the Spartans are going to get great field position. Spartans are winning the kicking game battle, but the offense is not getting anything done for East Ascension. Credit Santa Mar's defense with playing very stout, and it's going to be at the 35.
And right there, not real impressive on that kickoff. And I know maybe they're trying to kick away from London. I understand that completely. You know, Hector's got a chance, an opportunity to kick that thing in the end zone. Maybe they were just trying to just pooch it a little bit to the right side. It ended up going out of bounds.
Thomas Levy lines up to the right of Jason Wakefield. Wakefield gives it to Levy, and look at Santa Mar. Boy, they are all over it. a loss of 1. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 11. Santa Monica with only 3 down linemen on defense, but those 3 guys certainly blew that play up.
And they're in pure D man-to-man right here and bringing everybody.
2nd down. Throw down here, going to be knocked away. It's incomplete. I believe that was Siobhan Robinson they were trying to get it to on the sideline. Chevelle London, the intended receiver. Thompson in motion. Wakefield to throw it over the middle. Got a receiver and a 1st down. And that is Siobhan Robinson. Robinson now with 14 catches on the year.
See, this is where I just think East Ascension is talented in the passing game. Pitch and catch. 1 receiver, Robinson. We've seen him do it in a number of games, partially last year and a lot this year. Runs a little square in at about 10 or 12 yards, throwing it to 1 guy.
Wakefield, throw it out of the backfield. Levy, can he outrun the pursuit of the Gators? He does, and he gets about 9 yards. You know, going back to Robinson's catch a moment ago, we have seen him over the last 2 years make some big grabs, but only 14 catches on the year as we see this 9-yard pickup.
Yeah, this is a strange little play, but boy, it works to perfection right there where you get that running back out there, an open air right there, and the receivers, the route took a good while to happen right there, ends up picking up 8 yards on the play. Very successful for him in the passing game there.
But now they're going to send London out on the 2nd down and 2. London's going to keep it, go left side. There's London. Boy, he's doing his thing. Look at him go inside the 30-yard line, the 25, the 24. And is that young man electrified?
Well, you watch the double pull. Actually 3 pulls right there. Well, it was 2 pulls on that where they lead London up in that hole, and the left side of that offensive line did a great job with the pullers, leading him in there.
Spartans in a hurry, give it off this time, and it'll be C.J. Street who has started playing the last couple of weeks. Street just shy of the 20-yard line. So the Spartans trying to respond now. Now they're going to send back Wakefield as East Ascension substituting about 5 new guys in as they get a different offense out on the field.
Well, I like it when they do this. Don't bring Wakefield back in when it's 3rd and 8 or something like this. Give him a shot right here at 2nd down.
2nd down and 8, and let's see. Santa Monica may have jumped off sides. Were they drawn? There's the call. It's going to be offside. And that'll be against Santa Monica, so that'll make it a 2nd down now.
Brandon Bell anticipating that count. Seen so far this year. This game, East Ascension's done a good job as far as trying to change that snap count.
Wakefield, corner of the end zone, up for grabs. It is caught for a touchdown, and that's the young man we're talking about, Swack. Siobhan Robinson with a heck of a grab over a defender, and his 2nd touchdown catch of the year.
Boy, nice throw on the outside. This is a tough throw. Robinson, a taller kid right there, does a good job to pick that thing up, and basically you have a couple of 23s out there. Tyrus Williams defending on the play for the Gators.
So, Siobhan Robinson, that's a heck of a high school pass by Wakefield.
Ryan, you throw it up there, and look, I don't know how many East Ascension fans are right there, but I know Robinson had a lot of support on that catch.
Extra point was about as ugly as it'll get, but it's good. We're going to take a break. There's 8:38 to go, first half. 38th meeting between these two teams, and we are tied at 7 on the Eatel Game of the Week. The athletic training staff of East Ascension High School would like to thank SKR Construction Corporation, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic Foundation, Pico Builder Supply, Donaldsonville Glass and Body for their support of the EA Sports Medicine Program. Due to time constraints, we move ahead in the 2nd quarter. Well, spot the ball. You see it's just inside the 48, and he didn't need much and he didn't get much, but enough. And they're going to start the clock with 4:35 to go and a 7-7 tie.
And you got trips to the wide side of the field. And look, you basically have man-to-man coverage. but you have London one-on-one right here.
Sandoval Band will be performing at halftime. This is going to be a keeper by Miller, and he slipped and fell. Miller was looking dead on at Deshaun Hall, tried to cut away from Hall, and lost his footing.
That big knock him. He looked like he slanted to the field right there from the nose guard spot. And the cutback, the quarterback saw it, but he was too much into that B gap already where he slipped trying to make the cutback.
You're right, it was Knockham that he saw, tried to reverse. It's going to be second down and 13. We're under 4 minutes now to go. First half. Spartans have had one drive, and they scored on it.
Well, the linebackers are moving up here.
Miller, he's going to run. Miller is going to be brought down. He'll gain about 5 yards. They're going to need to get it down to the East Ascension 38 for a first down. Deshaun Hall made the tackle for East Ascension. Both these teams will be at home next week in the first round of the playoffs. We'll have one of them for you here on the Eatel Game of the Week. Actually, we'll have both games. Grant Alexander in motion on 3rd and 9. Spartans blitz. Miller buys some time, but he's going to go down. And a fumble, and the Spartans have the football. Not sure when it was coughed up, but they got him and stripped him from behind.
I think that was Jordan Campbell coming in from the defensive end spot.
Deshaun Hall stripped it right there. Number 93, Deshaun Hall stripped it, and the Spartans recover. And with 3:06 to go, how about that for the change of field position?
Just what I was talking about before, you get that pass rush right there, and you're not being able to get it off quick enough, and that quarterback goes to that run, and then after a while, that run's not going to be there.
Fake it to London. Pass will be complete. Pass is caught. It's going to bring up second down.
Now London's at quarterback.
Going to bring up second down and 6. Barnes with the Wildcat formation. London. Actually, they give it to Thomas Levy, and Levy's got all kind of room to run. He slipped and fell, and he had all kind of daylight as they gave it to, snapped it to Levy instead of London. Look at this trick play. Got London in at quarterback. Thomas Levy also with him. The game clock now is at 2 minutes, so that's going to be a factor. We're tied at 7. There goes London. He wants to go outside, and Sandoval. That's as well as we have seen London defensed this year, as they just did not give him a crease.
Boy, if you look at London's stats on the year, it didn't make any defensive quarter kind of cringe a little bit. But, boy, the Gators doing a good job right there as far as stopping him. And London's made a living off that little turn up in there and that outside gap.
Trips formation far side. Let's see with Wakefield back in the ball game. Let's see if they try to go there.
Well, you don't see any safeties in the middle of the field.
Clock down to 1:20 to go. Wakefield looks left, throws the other way, got a receiver, and he overthrew it. Had his receiver, I think it was Tyreek Johnson, wide open, but he overshot him, and it's going to bring up third down.
Well, they do a great job on offense right there. And checking that, see where the Gators are going to line up in. Then they call the little post route right there. Wide open. Nice little route, just a little bit high on the throw.
Sandoval Band will be performing at halftime. You're going to see it on the Eatel Game of the Week. Here we go now with third down. Is this 4-down territory with only 1:16 to go. Empty backfield. 3 receivers far side, 2 receivers near side. Here comes a blitz. Wakefield's in trouble. There's a flag. They're going to call holding as the pass really just thrown away. And the referee is going to call holding against East Ascension, and that is going to really hurt this drive.
Well, you got to do a better job on the linebacker right there by the left guard. And quarterback, if he just has another second back there, he can find one of the 4 receivers. It's man-to-man coverage out there and make a throw down the field there.
So do they want it to be third down or fourth down?
Referee asking Coach Oliver, moving the ball back a little bit because possibly in field goal range.
Yeah, well, I think you're more concerned with the clock than you are with field position. If you're Sandoval right now, you just want to push him back because you got 1:10 to go. and it's going to be third down and forever. Spartans need to get it down to the 22-yard line. They snap it from midfield.
And, now they can go to a coverage where you have safeties over the top to help these guys that are underneath.
Wakefield goes short. Slipping and falling after making the catch is Levy. That's the second time now on this drive he slipped and fell. And we got a penalty marker, roughing the passer. How about that call against Santamar? Automatic first down. What a critical call.
You could see this. You could see the stunt right there coming from the outside, and they just looping to the inside and making contact with that quarterback late right there.
Roughing the passer call against the Gators.
Boy, that is a huge call because it would have been fourth down and forever. Instead, it's a first down at the 31-yard line.
And you get a first down on that, Lyle. One of the few things you get a first down on.
Personal fouls are first downs. At the 31-yard line, 1st and 10. Levy shifts to the left of Wakefield. Stays in the game, does Wakefield. Dumps it off to Levy. Levy cuts it back. Great pursuit by Santamar. Brings him down at the 28-yard line. Spartans quickly call a timeout. Keep in mind now, Ryan Grimion is 4 of 6. His longest field goal came last week of 42 yards. So if you would kick it from here, you're looking at about 46 yards. So,
and the other thing you have to look at is this, Lyle. When's the last time East Ascension has run the football?
That's a good point.
They're basically have gone successfully to the passing game right here and bringing in London to make plays for you in the running game.
Still 2 timeouts in the Spartans' pocket with 51 seconds to go before halftime. Glad you're with us on the Eatel Game of the Week. What a game we have had here tonight. Figured there would be a lot of defense, and there has been. Massey, the running back. Wakefield's in trouble. Oh, can't afford a sack. He threw it. Let's see if they call an intentional grounding. They're going to rule incomplete.
Well, you're out of the tackle box there, Lyle, and you throw it past the line of scrimmage. So that quarterback is able to do that. I guess that side judge right there said he threw it past the line of scrimmage, so no intentional grounding there.
Boy, credit Santamar. They were all over Wakefield. They never gave him a chance to set his feet up at all, did they?
Well, this is the fun game for the defensive line, even though it gets a little bit tiring. They're throwing the ball. Let's just bring it on. And now Santamar has done a great job as far as mixing up the stunts,
and they just jumped off sides. That is a crucial 5 yards right now because that's going to move them 5 yards closer to field goal range.
Big play right there by the East Ascension offense on drawing them outsides. And look, this is not just one time. They've done this probably 10 or 15 times through the course of the first half, and it has caused them to have some success.
From here, it would be about a 46-yard field goal. Third down and about 3. Massey, the running back, Wakefield. Wakefield stands in, has a receiver, Tyrick Johnson. Johnson down at the 15-yard line. Timeout or clock stops while they move the chains. There's 39 seconds to go. Spartans are going to go from the line of scrimmage.
I got plenty of time here, Lyle.
Well, but you got a first down at the 15.
Well, they're going for the end zone right here. They're not worried about that clock right now.
25. Boy, valuable time running off the clock. Massey up the middle. I'm just not sure about that. They have just about wasted 30 seconds. And now a timeout by East Ascension, and you've left yourself now with no timeouts and 15 seconds left. Well, here we go. No timeouts left. 15 seconds left. London is in behind Wakefield.
They bring in some people, maybe. Yes.
Wakefield, well, they did apparently have a timeout left. I cannot believe what they just did. They're going to try to spike it, and they do with 2 seconds left. So what they wanted to do was line it up the middle, and East Ascension is a very lucky football team doing all of this with 15 seconds left, and that could have been a hit right there. So let's see what we got here. We're going to put it down. The ball's going to be spotted. You know, give Santa Maria credit right there, Swag. They held their ground, and they're going to now make it a difficult field goal.
Well, Santa Maria, all you'd want them to do anything different is just lay on top of him a little longer and time would have ran out.
Exactly. Here we go. 36 yards, final play, and now a timeout's going to be called. Wisely, Coach David Oliver uses a timeout to try to ice Ryan Gremillon. As we said, he's 4 of 6 in field goals. His longest has been 42 yards, and this one is going to be from 37.
Tell you what, for everyone in these stands, this has been an exciting first half.
Here we go for a 36-yard field goal attempt. Good snap. Ball is down. Not a lot of height, but it's good. Final play of the half is a 36-yard field goal, and Ryan Gremillon has put the Spartans on top for the first time tonight. We'll take a break. Halftime coming up with the band. Spartans lead 10-7 as you watch exclusively on the Eatel Game of the Week.
Piku Builder Supply, your one-stop lumberyard, provides an extensive selection of quality building supplies for your new construction and remodeling. We offer computer-aided estimating of your building and remodeling plans, as well as blueprint copies. From humble beginnings to becoming the industry leader in Gonzales and beyond, Piku proudly supports our local community because we believe in giving back to those who have had a hand in our success. Let the experts at Piku Builder Supply help you with your new project today.
You care about your car. So do we. Donaldsonville Glass and Body has been around for over 40 years, providing unparalleled collision repairs and customer service, especially when you and your car are having the worst day ever. When you demand exceptional workmanship, call Donaldsonville Glass and Body. Free pickup for your collision repairs and get it back as good as new. It's your choice, so why not choose the best? Donaldsonville Glass and Body.
The athletic training staff of East Ascension High School would like to thank SKR Construction Corporation, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic Foundation for their support of the EA Sports Medicine Program. We're back at the pit. Santa Maria's band is getting ready to perform, and what a football game we have as a Ryan Gremillon 36-yard field goal has given East Ascension their first lead of the game. And it came on the final play of this first half. And man, oh man, we have got ourselves a packed house here tonight. It is a warm Friday night here on the Eatel Game of the Week, and we should have a great second half. But before that, we're going to get the band to play, and all you can hope for, Swack, on a high school football game between these two teams leaving it out on the field.
And just look straight across there, Lyle. I mean, that's the East Ascension. Now, that's the people that could find a seat, right?
Good point.
And then if you look, you know, from end zone, from the concession stand over there, there are hundreds of people all over the place. And, boy, now we get to be entertained. And, you know, my wife and I went to the band festival at Dutchtown a few weeks ago, and it is unbelievable the organization to put that thing on. I was just floored. And all the bands, they come there for just a small amount of time to do this performance that they're doing right now. And there must have been 60, 70, 80 buses of schools from all over the South. And as you can see, the band halftime show has changed a great deal since our time, you know, where they just kind of lined up and did. Now we have actually things growing out there.
Well, I was getting ready to say, you came here in '85. Have you ever seen a tree growing at midfield? I mean, that's quite a prop they've got out there, as we're going to be seeing the halftime show by the Santa Maria Band. Again, we've been showing you pictures all night of the shout-out last night at Lamar Dixon. By the way, Santa Maria did win the Spirit Stick. There you look. That's some of the pictures. There's the Gators in their orange. You see Alligator himself wearing the orange, what is that, a vest, I guess you could say?
Yes, and I tell you what my wife said at East Ascension, the pep rally was unbelievable today, and I know Santa Maria the same thing. Just a lot of fun times.
If we could throw that picture up real quick of what the mall looked like at EA before we show the band. Watch what this looks like. Oh, it is down at the bottom left of your screen. That's what it looked like on the campus at East Ascension today. It looked like a swamp. But right now, let's go down on the field and enjoy the Santa Monica High marching band here at halftime of this 38th meeting between these two parish rivals.
The Santa Monica High Competition Marching Band, which is comprised of the most accomplished student musicians at Santa Monica High School. This year's show is entitled The Giving Tree, inspired by the Shel Silverstein children's book, and is arranged by composer Louis Northleaf. We present our entire show in preparation for tomorrow's performance at the Louisiana Showcase of Marching Bands State Competition.
and the trees often alone. I am too good to fly in the forest, said the bird. I'm sorry, said the tree. Take my apples for me and sell them in the city. And so the bird climbed up the tree and gathered the apples and carried them away. And the tree was happy. But the boy stayed away for a long time, and the tree was sad. And then, one day, the bird came back, and the tree shook its throat, and she said, "Come, boy, climb up my trunk and swing from my branches and flee me back." "I am too busy to climb trees," said the boy. "I want a house to keep me warm," he said. "I have no house," said the tree, "but you may cut off my branches and do the rest." And so the boy cut the branches and the bird "But I have nothing left to give you. My apples are gone, my branches are gone, my trunk is gone. I am sorry," sighed the tree. "I wish that I could give you something, but I have nothing left. I am just an old stump." "Haven't you very much now?" said the boy. "Just a quiet place to sit and rest. I am enjoying time." "Well, an old stump is good for sitting and resting. Come, boy, sit down and rest, and for the earth and the trees."
We continue tonight's halftime with an energetic dance routine by the Santa Monica High School Gatorettes, featuring this 1983 hair metal hit by Quiet Riot. Choreographed by Alex Dimino and Kinley Conyers, here is Come On, Feel the Noise.
The athletic training staff of East Ascension High School would like to thank SKR Construction Corporation, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic Foundation, Pico Builder Supply, Donaldsonville Glass and Body for their support of the EA Sports Medicine Program. Welcome back to the pit here in Santa Monica as we're at halftime with a 10-7 East Ascension lead. Spartans score right before on the final play of the first half on a field goal of 36 yards by Ryan Grimion. Before the ball game tonight, they had the special presentation as they presented the checks to both schools. And they have now raised $140,000 for each school, which is $280,000. And David Swacker, you've been a part of that. I mean, tell us what that means to these athletic programs.
Well, the biggest thing is right there you have a ton of people that put some hours into this deal, because this shout-out is not start working 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. It's almost a year-long deal. And the money that is brought into both of these schools is tremendous, can be used in so many ways. I know Santa Monica was hurt tremendously school-wise and athletic-wise by the floods. And then all of a sudden, East Ascension has done everything you could possibly do to help Santa Monica during those times. So big deal. Boy, if you're a coach, man, you just really appreciate the support that you get from the communities. 2 great schools, 2 great communities, and everybody ought to be really excited about this great game we have going on at halftime.
Well, David Swacker, we can look at the stats, the halftime stats in a moment, but what are some of your impressions of the first half?
Well, my first thoughts is that I think East Ascension has come in here with a plan that involves Jamel London in the running game. And because you didn't see a lot of runs by East Ascension by their quarterback or their running back. And then they're going to have their quarterback make some plays in the passing game, and it's been good for them. Santa Monica has been Santa Monica of the last 3 years, involved the quarterback in the running game, involved the quarterback in the passing game, and hand the ball to Cade Nelson and let that offensive line do a good job.
We can't tell you that total offense, EA with 80 yards and Santa Monica with 162, so that's twice as many yards. The rushing yards is the difference in the ball game. Santa Monica with 112 yards on the ground. East Ascension limited to only 17 yards. 63 passing, and a couple of huge catches by Siobhan Robinson for the Spartans.
So when you look at this, you would think, maybe this should be a 18-7, 21-7 game or whatever, because when you look on the East Ascension side, a total of 80 yards is not a lot of yards, especially when you have Jamel London. So, he's been kind of held in check. Basically you got the fumble by the quarterback right there. They're able to go down and kick the field goal. And Santa Ma's done a pretty good job getting yardage, but not making the right play to put you in a scoring position. I think Hale Miller's had a good first half, but the one thing that concerns me, it looks like he's taking off the run maybe a little bit too soon now in the passing game, because I think the passing game could be one of the big keys for the Gators here in the second half, because I think that there's going to be some consistency in the running game.
If EA wins, they're district champs. If Santa Ma wins, the two will be co-champs. They're both going to be in the playoffs next week, a bi-district round game, and they're both going to be home. Gators will play here at the Pit. EA will play at Spartan Stadium. You're going to see both those games on the Eatel Game of the Week, just like you're watching this game exclusively on Eatel Channel 4. And here's his Hector Rodriguez kicking off. Picked up at the 10-yard line. Here is the return. And the return is going to be by the young freshman who just was called up to the varsity. That's going to be Cale Babin. And he returns it across the 25. And let's see what the offense has in store for East Ascension. A little bit shaky on that final 2-minute drive before the half, but they did get the end result of points on the board. Due to time constraints, we move ahead in the third quarter. So Cade Kernan comes in to punt. Got a good roll on one of his first half punts. Punt defense goes back. Fair catch called for. Taken in at the 26-yard line. And it's Grant Alexander with the fair catch. So the Gator defense does their job on the first series of this second half. And with 8:48 to go in the third quarter, Gators get it for the first time tonight, or first time in this quarter. And they'll spot it at the 25-yard line. Miller back out there. This is Cade Nelson, and boy, the Spartans clogged that thing up, and there's nothing to be had for Nelson. 1,000-yard rusher this year. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Well, Nelson didn't play last week. Just giving him a little time off. Running that ball a lot, 25, 30 times a week. It's tough on your body right there, and against Broadmoor, they really didn't need him.
Miller to throw on second down, and it is incomplete. That pass was behind the intended receiver. Tate Broussard is who Miller threw it to. It's going to now bring up 3rd down and 10. Yeah, it's good when in week 9 you can rest your best running back and let his body heal a little bit. And that was the case with Broadmoor on the schedule. So 3rd down and 10. Gators trying to avoid a 3 and out on this first possession for them in the second half. East Ascension on top, 10-7. Over the middle. What a grab, Franklin. Got it. First down, big play, Gators. And that has really put the home crowd in it. Miller picks a great time to make his best throw of the night.
Boy, does a great job looking off, and what a throw right down the hash. Lyle, you can't draw that up any better. Great catch by KJ, and very well defended.
That I thought was an interesting play, and now the Spartans are going to quickly burn a timeout. And while they do, it gives us a chance to thank our food provider tonight, Pot and Paddle Jambalaya Kitchen. We had our pastalaya tonight. Thought it might be a gumbo night last weekend, but instead it's pastalaya. Pot and Paddle Jambalaya Kitchen offers fresh prepared daily jambalaya, pastalaya, chicken and sausage gumbo. 3 locations, including Cabela's Parkway in Gonzales. You can dine in, carry out. There's also catering at Pot and Paddle Jambalaya Kitchen at all of their locations. They've got jambalaya and gumbo and daily lunch specials Pot and Paddle's got Cajun dishes that will be sure to satisfy your hunger. Let Chuck and his crew handle your next party or get-together. Visit them on the web at potandpaddle.com. And we want to thank them for taking care of us here at the Pit and at Spartan Stadium throughout this high school football season. And you know, as good a pass as that was a minute ago by Miller, boy, KJ Franklin caught that like he catches passes every day.
And it was well thrown. Outstanding play by the Gators in a crucial situation.
Let's see what this does now to the Gator offense. Little quick pass out here. It'll be caught. Spartans are in pursuit. KJ Franklin's got it. Little crossing pattern. He picks up about 5.
That's exactly what the Spartans were trying to do a while ago.
Darren Wilson made the tackle for East Ascension. Here's Cade Nelson. Nelson's got something now. And now you're starting to see a little bit of momentum shift because you had a 3rd and 10. And Miller made the big play on the big throw to Franklin.
And you see the big guard, number 58, Goings, pulling up in there and throwing a block. You're running right over in that A-gap center position.
Adrian Johnson made the tackle for East Ascension. Here is a keeper by Miller. Keeps his balance. Spun around, helicoptered down just shy of the 20-yard line. And about a 9-yard run, I think, from here. Avery Johnson put a pretty good lick on him, but here goes Cade Nelson. Nelson is inside the 15. It is 1st and 10. Gators are knocking on the door in the red zone now. That big completion on 3rd and 10, propelling this drive downfield.
Gators in a hurry-up offense right here.
Nelson again. There wasn't much of a hole there, but he did a great job to get it down to the 5-yard line. He made a lot out of nothing because every yard is so precious at this spot on the field.
Trying to pick it up, not giving that defense. Nice trap block by 66. Pulling on the right side for the Gators.
Keeper by Miller inside the 5. Miller at the 1, spun down. It'll be 1st and goal. Gators at the 1-yard line in a most impressive drive that is now 74 yards in length.
EA linebacker 33 or 32 does a good job making that quarterback cut up inside, but Miller was able to get a couple of yards near that goal line.
Nelson only needs a yard, but he's knocked down shy of the end zone. It'll be 2nd down, and the play clock, the game clock, already ticking down to 5 minutes left in this 3rd quarter.
I don't think he can get any closer to that goal line right there, Lyle. And this is what everybody always asks: why are you snapping that ball 5 yards deep if you need like a football length? You got
Nelson again. Nelson stood up again. How about EA's defense right now? 1st and goal at the 1. It's going to be 3rd and goal at the 1.
And this is where it's always tough. You know, you one-on-one on the outside with the receivers, and one receiver comes in to block, so that means another defender comes in there.
Well, here we go. 3rd and goal, 1-yard line. Same formation, Gators. Keeper by Miller. Miller is in the end zone. Touchdown. I thought the Spartans might have stood him up, but he had enough to get it in the end zone. It was 7-0 Santa Maria, 7-7, 10-7 EA at the half. And now Santa Maria on top, 13-10. Extra point is pending. Hector Rodriguez, 31 of 33. Let's see if they try a swinging game. Nope, they're going to do the conventional extra point attempt. KJ Franklin is the holder. So now the pressure's back to the Spartan offense to try and put together something. Kicks up by Rodriguez, and it is good. We'll take a break. 4:32 to go in our 3rd quarter. Santa Maria on top, 14-10. You're watching the Gators and Spartans exclusively on Eatel 4. The athletic training staff of East Ascension High School would like to thank SKR Construction Corporation, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic Foundation, Pico Builder Supply, Donaldsonville Glass and Body for their support of the EA Sports Medicine Program. Well, with their first possession of the third quarter, Santa Maria takes the lead at 14-10. Along with the coach, David Swacker, I'm Lyle Boudreau. Welcome back to the pit in Santa Maria. And you know, Swack, as we look across the way at the EA fans and look down below the Santa Maria fans, I mean, you couldn't wedge in another person, I don't think, into this stadium.
And I tell you, this is something that I was just thinking about this when they showed the extra point, how full the end zone is. When you exchange those films, people are going to say, God, they got some people at that game.
Yeah. Here is a return out to about the 25-yard line, and it is pretty obvious Santa Maria came into this ball game and they were not going to kick deep on kickoffs tonight.
Well, you know, you have Jamel London, but you have Mitchell back there also. That's a threat. And already London has shown what kind of threat he is offensively. He does a tremendous job for the Spartans. So probably a smart thing, getting the ball deep. We see the official coming off the field. I guess he tried it here in the second half and just couldn't quite make it.
Spartans start with Wakefield under center. Got a penalty flag on a very nice run by East Ascension, but they're going to bring this back for a holding call, and that just absolutely drives coaches crazy.
You see that right there, just kind of grabbed that arm and pulled him down, and for an official, that's pretty easy to see. Now you know this is a veteran group right here and an outstanding group right there. Just grab that jersey and that arm and kind of sling him to the ground. Old Johnson, you know, about to make the tackle. And
you know, we need to mention Swag too, because you mentioned it earlier, but Cameron Wire, the outstanding offensive lineman for EA, is not playing tonight. We understand he's going to be out for about a month, so yeah, that's a big guy to lose off your offensive line.
Yeah, and 55, Isaac Reddick is taking over that spot.
So a 15-yard penalty now makes it first down and 25. Boy, this puts you in a hole in a hurry.
Some for high school, football, college, NFL, it doesn't matter. This is a long ways to go to get a first down.
Santa Maria made a 3rd and 10 on their last drive. Wakefield's in trouble. Throws on the run. Trying to make a great catch, and they're gonna call it an interception. Now the officials are gonna talk about it. Let's take a look here and see what the officials are gonna call.
See the ball just kind of floating in the air.
Officials are still talking about it as we take a look at the replay. And this is going to be an interesting discussion because you don't have replay as far as you can't challenge a play in high school. But KJ Franklin made a great catch. Let's see if they give it to him or not. Santa Maria ball. The interception will stand. And the Gators are in great shape on what will be only the 3rd interception of the year on Wakefield.
Well, it was a double move by the receiver out there, and KJ did an outstanding job sticking right there with him on the throw.
I mean, it was hard for us to tell across the way in front of the Spartan bench. I thought they were talking about an EA reception, but instead a KJ Franklin interception, and what a third quarter he's having. And you got your defense right back out on the field. Look at this pass out here. And Santa Maria is on fire right now. They have got the momentum on their side. And a first down pass and a catch and run.
Boy, you work this all the time in this option football right here, but you hardly ever get to throw this little old RPO pass out there to that receiver. Well executed.
Cade Nelson speeds up the middle inside the 10. First and goal, Gators, as they are dominating this third quarter.
Again, the little trap block. Someone from the left side, either the guard or the tackle, is going to pull and trap that defensive end. There's that tackle on the pull right there. Again, same play 2 times in a row. The Spartans do a great job of stopping it.
Jordan Campbell, number 94. put a stop to it. Inside 3 minutes to go, third quarter. If you're the Gators, you want to punch it in, make it a two-possession ball game. If you're the Spartans, you want to try to hold them to a field goal to keep it at a one-possession game.
Well, let's just say Nelson comes out. They're going to go empty right here, maybe a quarterback draw.
Second down and goal. Miller, ball up in the air, and it's intercepted. It's picked off in the end zone, and wisely staying in the end zone for the touchback.
Did he stay in the end zone, Lyle? He stepped out, and he stepped on the goal line.
That was Darren Wilson.
Then backed up. Wide open on the left side.
Wilson catches it in the end zone. And they are going to rule it a safety. And the decision by Wilson ends up costing the Spartans 2 points. So you get the interception that you're looking for if you're a Spartan, and now all of a sudden you give up 2 points. And it's really hard right there to blame the player because he thought he was doing the right thing by just staying in the end zone, but he had came out too far, and now the Gators are going to get the ball right back as they lead 16-10.
In all my years, I guess I've never seen that situation. And, the hardest thing to coach is to tell a kid, when or when not to come out. I mean, that's all the way up to the professional ranks. They think they've returned it 100 yards, or they try to return it and they're tackled on the 5-yard line. But it looked like Wilson had yardage right there. And for some reason, he just didn't run out of the end zone.
So it'll be a kickoff for Ryan Grimion. Grimion gets nice height, but it'll be taken in at the 19-yard line. Right up the middle. Oh, my goodness, is there a hit just across the 35-yard line. And I mean, a hat was put on. I believe that's K.J. Franklin.
Number 41, Tyrone Russell. Outstanding job on the tackle.
But look at the field position for Santamon now.
Great field position. Great job by Franklin. I mean, he said, I'm running right up the pipe right here, and both of them met right there in the middle of the field.
At the 38-yard line, it's still a one-possession ball game. Quick pass out here. Becknell. Becknell's got good first down yardage. I thought a moment ago what the battle was in the end zone was the Santamon receiver just trying to strip the ball in the end zone more than anything else.
That could have been the worst situation if that would have ended up happening right there.
That was a 7-yard completion out to M.J. Becknell, who's got 2 catches tonight, 4 on the year. 2nd and 3. Cade Nelson. Not much there, but Nelson, that's only a 2-yard run, but there was absolutely nothing there, and it's 3rd and 1.
Well, you have it, East Ascension's playing that 3-2 look, and if you try to bounce to the outside, there's going to be some unblocked linebackers, outside linebackers right there. So running between the tackles is the best thing to do. No free safeties here, Lyle. I know I see Coach Seth Babbins looking at this. You have a possibility of 7 guys coming right here. Nobody's on the 3rd inside.
And a gamble pays off. Adrian Johnson, a flag comes in. As they throw a flag in East Ascension, they just saw an all-out gamble right there. You see it right here. Spartans just outnumbered them. And Adrian Johnson, who was shaken up earlier, now they're going to say this is a face mask against East Ascension. Boy, and I mean the Spartans are just killing themselves in this quarter.
The strong point of the Spartan team is this defense, and they're the ones that are going to have to make a play here to not necessarily get their team back in here because it's just a one-possession game. to get a little fire on the East Ascension Spark sideline. And then on the Gator sideline, you sit here and you say, let's just drive this thing down and get another score right here somewhere in the fourth quarter.
In Spartan territory now, play action. Miller all day, throws downfield, overthrows his intended receiver, and it's going to bring up second down. Crowd wanted on the near side a little bit of pass interference. It was intended for Grant Alexander. Well, Santa Monica has dominated the time of possession in this quarter.
I thought Alexander got a little tug on that one right there by the DB.
No one has left this ballpark. 16-10 the score. Santa Monica with a field goal, a touchdown, and a safety. I'll make it a touchdown and a safety in this quarter. Here's Cade Nelson on his feet. Look at that run by Nelson right when the Gators needed it most on 2nd down and 10.
I mean, the vision. I mean, Cade Nelson is something else. He can make 4 yards before you blink an eye.
And you know, one thing, as we got 30 seconds to go in the quarter, Gators just keep moving the sticks. 1st and 10. Here goes Nelson again. And I don't think there's any doubt right now, Squack, as that'll be the last play of the quarter. I don't think there's any doubt the fresh legs right now belong to Cade Nelson.
And you see a couple of Spartan defenders, one of them at least, taking a little blow right there. Here we go into the fourth quarter. Coach Oliver's going to call his troops over last quarter right here. Coach Darnell Lee, words of wisdom for his team.
Well, here we go. This is the 38th meeting between these two football teams. Santa Monica with the momentum as they lead 16-10 heading to the final quarter here on the Eatel Game of the Week. The athletic training staff of East Ascension High School would like to thank SKR Construction Corporation, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic Foundation, Pico Builder Supply, Donaldsonville Glass and Body for their support of the EA Sports Medicine Program. Along with David Swacker, Lyle Boudreau, welcoming you back to the pit in Santa Monica. And you know, if you're Santa Monica and Coach David Oliver, as you look at a little Gatorette, couldn't be more happy than you are right now with that third quarter, Swack. Santa Monica really had their way in the period.
Yeah, they came out with a Cade Nelson show, a Miller show on a few passes right here, and they've really got the job done. And then, of course, they've gotten a few breaks along the way.
Hand off Cade Nelson, and he was protecting the football, just expecting to get hit, and he's going to pick up, I think, a first down at the 27-yard line.
Well, you see right here, he's just looking right there for a spot, a little crease to get in there, and he's always got that lean forward, Lyle, that helps you get that extra 1, 2, or 3 yards.
Darren Wilson made the tackle for East Ascension, and this has just been a story of the Spartan offense, which has had their struggles this year. They have struggled mightily in this game, and they just have not had the football in this. I think they've only maybe run 3 plays this whole quarter.
Yeah, I think you're right on that.
Because you remember, they had that holding penalty, and it ended up being a 1st and 25, and then they had the interception. It's going to be 3rd down and a couple of inches now for Santa Monica.
So you know they're going to bring the house here.
Keep in mind now, a field goal makes this a 2-possession ball game. And as we play in the fourth quarter, of course, both these teams are going to be high seeds moving on into the first round of the playoffs next week. Both will get home games. Nelson, that'll be enough for a first down. He's at the 25-yard line, and this is a worn-out Spartan defense right now, giving it everything they've got, but they have just been on the field too long in this second half.
Well, too long, and then, basically – you got those 3 down linemen who have done a super job all year, and they're having to make plays. And now, you see East Ascension not necessarily gambling, but bringing that outside backer on the line where you have that 4-man front.
Well, you talked about the gamble earlier, and they got the job done, but they had the face mask penalty. Keeper by Miller. And Miller is hit hard, and he's going to lose yardage. Real nice open field tackle for East Ascension by linebacker Derek Smith, as Miller would probably wish he'd have handed that one off.
Well, you have that little pass that he threw a little earlier to the outside receiver, because that was Franklin's man to block. But if he's the receiver, that guy's got to go and cover him, and you make that little throw out there.
2nd down and 12. Miller slant over the middle. Oh, it was dropped. Jaquan Mitchell had the coverage. As we'll watch the replay again, but Swag, one thing Santa Monica has done a great job of all night, they have stayed ahead of the sticks all night long.
That's Tate Broussard right there. Great job on the route. Just got to collect that ball, make a big play right there for the Gators.
Tate with 9 grabs on the year. 3rd and 12.
No one in the middle of the field here, Lyle. No one in the backfield.
5 receivers set.
There
Miller
it is, wide open.
There is a flag, though. This is a touchdown, but there is a flag. And Stanford Knockham is saying holding. Let's check it out. The umpire threw it. And
you see the replay right there. KJ said this is going to be easy for me.
Franklin beat his man, and another hook up from Miller to Franklin. And they're going to wipe that off. And they're going to penalize Santa Monica. And that's a huge break for East Ascension there. Boy, the umpire has made 2 critical calls on this drive alone.
Well, now you're going to have a situation where maybe, they had this earlier in the game where they made this throw and they put the ball around the start of the first down chains. And, that might give you a possibility of being able to kick a field goal.
I'm not sure right here if they're looking at an injured player for EA or if EA just called a timeout, because they got a lot of guys on defense right now that are, they're sucking some wind right now trying to get their second breath.
And if that was a timeout, then I think that would be the second Spartan timeout.
Which, obviously could play a role.
The second half.
10:25 to go in the game. If you're Santa Monica, you've had the ball the whole second half, but yet you still only lead by 6 points.
Well, you drop the slant pass. That could have made a big difference in this. And then you get a hold on the vertical route there by KJ. So that's 2 plays right there. One that was created by the Gators on the drop ball, and the second one by the lineman on the hold. So here we go. Same thing again, except now they put 2 safeties deep. Middle of the field is still a nice spot to throw this thing.
From the Spartan 41, Miller. Miller's got a lot of room to run. He's going to go out of bounds at the 30, and Santa Monica's going to look at a 3rd down and 15, and this is a 47-yard field goal from here. And I say that because the field goal, keep in mind now, makes it a 2-possession ball game. Well, this is 4th down.
It's 4th down, and Hector's pulling off the gloves. Got the tee.
I thought for sure that was 3rd down. They're going to spot it down. The ball is going to be spotted at the 38, so this is a 48-yard field goal. Rodriguez is 6 of 7. He does have a 42-yarder for his longest. From 47 for a 2-possession lead. Got some leg in it, but it's going to come up short. And the Spartans are going to try to return it, but they're going to blow it dead. It's in the end zone. Yeah. And that kick just came up short. And, Swack, what was it? Did he maybe try and hit it a little too hard?
It looked like he hit it a little bit off the the front of his foot, and old Mitchell thought he was going to make a play like they did at Auburn and Alabama a few years ago. But when you play in those LHSA National Federation rules, that ball goes in the end zone in the kicking game. It's amazing. It's dead. But you intercept it in the end zone, you can return it all night long. So
guess what? 10:09 to go in the ball game. We still got a game.
No doubt.
16-10.
You look at that scoreboard right there, and you say,
put a drive
we need
together.
to stay right here and watch the end of this thing.
Put a drive together right here, kick an extra point, and all of a sudden you've been outplayed pretty much this whole second half, and you got a one-point lead. Wakefield got a receiver, and he overthrew Siobhan Robinson. I'm telling you, that young man can make it happen, but it was overthrown, and it's 2nd down and 10. And right now, Swack, if you're EA, you got to get something going to keep your defense off the field and get them a blow.
And that could have been a real big play right there.
That could have been a game changer. I mean, that had 80 yards written all over it.
You have to complete that. I mean, that's a simple throw in high school football.
One-on-one coverage, Wakefield. They're going to try it again. Wakefield back shoulder throw, got his receiver. Did he stay in bounds? Yes, he did. Remember, we're playing with an official short. Siobhan Robinson on the grab.
Well, nobody's putting pressure on the quarterback, and right here makes a tremendous throw. Right here, back shoulder, whatever you want to call it. And
starting to think that the Spartans like their matchup with Robinson. Out at the 43-yard line, it will be a 1st down. Clock not a factor. It runs at 9:40 to go. Nick Massey, the running back, behind Wakefield in the pistol. Now, Massey goes to the left. Fake it to him. Wakefield hit as he throws. Look out. 20, 10, 5. Dives at the 3-yard line is Marquell Stewart with his 16th grab of the year, and they're going nuts across the way.
Well, Wakefield makes up for the bad slant throw, and he makes a heck of a throw right here with somebody right in his face. Not bad on the coverage right there, and good job of getting that ball down inside the 5-yard line.
Guess what, brother? We got a ball game, don't we?
Well, the big play can be an unbelievable equalizer in this game.
Now the officials are going to stop the clock. Call a timeout, East Ascension. I don't really understand that unless the play clock was running down with 9:06 to go. But how about that? You know, when you go back 20 years from now, that's a play that you'll talk about right there because the Spartans had absolutely nothing going. And then all of a sudden, Wakefield hooks it up with Marquell Stewart, and they come up with that big play.
I mean, just a perfect pass, a great route by Stewart, nice grab right there, and was able to elude 1 or 2 tacklers right there and gets knocked down inside of the 5-yard line. Now, do you bring London in?
If it were me, you asking me?
You bring London in, that full house, just there it is right there.
If it's me, London's going to touch it 4 times.
You know, you have about 15 blockers right there in front of him. I'm not sure if anybody's a pass receiver right there.
The ball is at the 4.
And they've been going to the left on this a lot.
Handoff, caught from behind. They're going to lose a yard. That didn't fool anybody. C.J. Street. And now a flag comes out. And if that's 15 on East Ascension, it's going to be 2nd and goal at the 20-yard line. And the way they're pointing, it's against East Ascension. And this is about as bad an outcome as the Spartans could hope to have. Boy, if I'm Coach Lee, I am some upset at my player that got a personal foul penalty. Now the officials are going to talk about it.
Well, I think one official saying, hey, did you see the whole play right here? No, and he may call it on both ways.
Oh, my goodness, it's going to go against East Ascension. Well, the umpire may have tried to talk the referee out of it, saying it was offsetting, but the referee won that discussion, and it is back at the 22-yard line. And how about that for a momentum swing?
I don't know how many coaches I've worked with over the years that told kids they're always going to see the second guy.
Well, Spartans tried to run it in with C.J. Street. Now whistles are blowing, and they're going to call procedure, and East Ascension's falling apart. Remember, keep in mind, this was 1st and goal at the 4-yard line.
Well, Wakefield comes in with the receivers.
Clock winds, 8:40 to go. Four receivers set. Robinson split wide to the far side. That's who they've been going to. Give it to Massey up the middle, and that's not going to fool anybody. That's almost like a wasted play right there. It's going to bring up now 3rd and goal from the 25-yard line. You got to go to the end zone if you're
If it's 1st down, I can see that. 2nd down, I understand you thought on wasted play right there. The Gators were in a 3-2 look, and if you pop it through there, maybe you have a big play.
But you haven't shown all year to have the running backs to do that.
This 10's got to be chunking that rock right here.
From the 25, Wakefield flushed out. Wakefield at the 20 doing all he can. He's at the 10. There's a flag now. Let's see what this call is going to be. If this is a personal foul, you got to be kidding me. This is the umpire. Santa Monica is acting like it's going to be against them possibly. They may be calling a forearm. Let's watch this play on a blow maybe to the elbow.
Nice movement by the quarterback in here. Good vision.
Man, oh man, how about the momentum swings in this game?
So you replay this down.
No, I think I don't know.
You replay this down with a 5-yard penalty. Now it's 1st and goal from the 12.
I don't think they know what's going on because the scoreboard shows 4th and 12. The down marker shows 3rd down. So I'm assuming it's 3rd down.
It's 3rd down. You take the penalty, and it's at the end of that happened where Wakefield was running with the ball, and so now it's 3rd and goal.
Spartan's got a break there because Wakefield had nowhere else to go, and he was trying to run, and there just were no lanes to run through. The ball is going to be at the 12-yard line. Is this 4-down territory, or do you try to kick a field goal here? You got 7:22 to play with, so.
I think it all depends on what happens on this play right here and how close you get, what the situation looks like. I'm sure you're going to have a little call here to see what they lined up in.
Wakefield. Hit as he throws, it's intercepted. Back the other way go the Gators. Can he race to the end zone? 30. Down at the 26-yard line. 2nd interception of the night, and the home crowd is going crazy. Reed Babin with the interception.
Boy, what a play right there. Just pops out of his hand, and Reed takes off. He says, I got this guy beat. Nice effort by the East Ascension Spartans, number 6.
Nick
Massey coming up, but Reed Babin making the play of the game right here because no telling what would have happened on a 4th down conversion.
1st and goal at the 4. Not easy to end up with that type of circumstances. 1st down, Gator trying to put it away at the 26. Throw it. It's caught at the 20-yard line, out of bounds. Joe Williams on the reception. Nice 1st down.
It's amazing. This guy doesn't catch a pass the entire game, and it's just part of the offense, Lyle. You have to understand, if you're going to be a receiver, it doesn't matter what team you're on, but especially for the Gators, that ball's going to be spread around a great deal.
Keep in mind, a field goal makes it a 2-possession game as here goes Nelson. It'll be first down. At the 15-yard line, it's going to be 1st and 10. And, as this second half has played out, Santa Monica has dominated, but right now the Spartans only have themselves to blame for being behind.
There's no doubt. And then if you are Santa Monica right here, possibly you want to see that clock run down a little bit towards that 0-0 on that play clock.
At the 15, here goes Nelson. Nelson! How did he get through? Touchdown! That may have iced it. Gators are up by 2 scores on a touchdown
right in the middle.
run.
Offensive line pulling, and I'm just telling that nose guard, knock him slanting one way, and that little cut back up in there. And Nelson can make some plays.
Gators are going to go for 2 because it's one of those 12-point ball games.
Boy, you just see, he just slides through there. Great job by the offensive line right there. You got Luke Ory, Nick Goins, Bo Grimion, Carl Mears, Brandon Thomasy. Really a special time right there as far as making a play and then watching that guy get in the end zone. You're so proud as an offensive lineman.
Timeout now called by Santa Monica. They were going to go for 2 because it's a 12-point ball game. And, how do you look at the momentum swing there from a 1st and goal at the 4 and a chance to take the lead? You remember, I'm not second-guessing by saying we talked about what would you do. I would have London run 4 times. And instead, they tried to fool him with C.J. Street, and a personal foul was happened, and it just blew up.
That little power play they had with London earlier, that was really impressive. And I thought that might be one that they'd have happen. The play they ran, that's a call. The guy didn't gain, maybe lost a yard or 2 on the play, and then we had penalties on top of that after that. So it was just a disaster.
Try for 2, throw it to the end zone, and it is incomplete. And we're going to take a break. There's 6:21 to go. 38th meeting between these two teams. Santa Monica stretches their lead. It is now 22-10. The athletic training staff of East Ascension High School would like to thank SKR Construction Corporation, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic Foundation, Pico Builder Supply, Donaldsonville Glass and Body for their support of the EA Sports Medicine Program. So, some strange goings on in this second half. Lyle Boudreaux along with David Swacker. Second half has been dominated by Santa Monica, yet it's still been a game. And if EA could score quick here, they still got time, but EA has, I think, used up most of their timeouts. They can only have 1 left at most.
Well, my question to you, Lyle, is this. What's going to happen on this kickoff right here? Because, you have Mitchell and London.
They're going to do a little squib kick. Taken in by Adrian Johnson. Tried to go maybe get around the edge, but instead he'll cut it up. Good field position for East Ascension. And, the Spartans have the wide receivers to make something happen. But, another thing, Swack, Santa Monica's defense, Dwayne Thomasy, the defensive coordinator, they've done a good job containing Jamel London tonight, haven't they?
And, but Jamel London hadn't had a lot of touches, though.
Exactly. That's no doubt about it.
And that give East Ascension credit, when they had a situation on the pass, they missed a couple of situations on the pass, but the Santa Monica's defense, you're looking right now, it's double coverage everywhere. And, the quarterback not being a real big threat, this is going to be hard for them to move it. up and down the field.
That's not going to work right there. I mean, they tried to slip underneath Shamar Thompson, and Santa Ma was not going to have any of that because, like you said, they're playing a little bit of a prevent. Boy, was Reed Babin.
I was sitting there watching Colton King. Now, he's probably spying the quarterback and everything, but then he saw that crossing route, which he's seen 1,000 times in practice, and said, man, this is going to be fun right here.
If Santa Ma wins, they are co-champs with East Ascension for the district title. Both teams are 8-1. Wakefield, maybe his worst pass of the night, as that had no chance, straight in the ground basically, and it's third down. Obviously right now with 6:05 to go, you got to consider this 4-down territory. And I mean, your defense has been on the field the whole second half.
Yeah, and you know, the Gators in 2 safeties deep, and you know, the place to throw this thing is somewhere between those 2 safeties, and you can throw it down the field just as long as you don't throw it, you know, 30 or 40 yards down the field where one of them can make a play.
Wakefield rolls out, tries to buy time, sets up, lets it go, and he didn't have any receiver in the area, and it's now 4th down. I'm not sure who he's even trying to throw it to.
A good job on the sprint out. Looked like they had a little flood route right there and missed out. I think number 1 he thought might be breaking Stewart to the sideline a little bit more.
Wow. They are going to send the punt team out here with 5:59 to go, down by 12 points and 1 timeout. Against an offense that has just ground the football the whole second half. See, maybe it'll be a fake.
Well, I'm not sure the punter that you have in here would be the guy.
Remember when I said they had 1 timeout left? They're now going to use their last timeout up. Hey, we get a shot of the student body now for Santa Ma off to the left. They're, I guess that's kind of like the new wave or whatever with their cell phones with the lights. A lot of the Spartan crowd now, they're just starting to head for home and try to, I don't know if you can even think about beating the traffic. There you can see the jam pack. There wasn't an empty seat in that student section tonight. And I know a few of them up there. You know a few of those kids too.
And I'm telling you, you know, this is a lot of fun for everybody. You know, it doesn't matter if you're EA fan, Gator fan, and you're up in the age a little bit, or if you're just a young kid out here. I remember Reed Brignac telling me, he said, I remember when I was a ball boy, you know, back in the day. So this is all a community thing where whether you're a Spartan in the Spartan community or the Gator community, and the big thing is both teams have had tremendous years and really have a strong possibility to do well in the playoffs.
Spartans are going to go for it. They burned the timeout. They're going to go for it. Wakefield steps up, airs it out. It's a jump ball up in the air, and great defense played perfectly by Santa Ma, and a Hail Mary pass down was knocked away, and the Gators are going to get it back.
Well, good job of stepping up in the pocket and making that throw, but the Gators 2-on-1 down there with a corner, KJ, and the deep safety.
I'm just not sure why they didn't throw more passes like that this whole second half, because they had some success on that with their receivers out jumping the Santa Ma defenders.
Well, it came down to this, Lyle. Basically East Ascension's one-dimensional tonight.
Yes.
And the Gators were able to
look at that defense
do their thing.
Santa Ma trying to salt it away with Cade Nelson. He was stopped there by Deshaun Hall. Right now, the clock, an ally of the Gators. 22-10. Spartans led 10-7 at the half, got a field goal on the final play of the half, and had a 1st and goal at the 4, and somehow managed to throw an interception after ending up with a 2nd and goal at the 25. And here's Nelson. You got to give it to that defense for East Ascension, because they have been on the field the whole second half. It's 3rd down now 10.
Yeah, and the big thing that both coaches, because look, this is a big emotional game right here, and the season starts next Friday for both teams,
right.
And they both have a chance to be highly successful in the playoffs. And you can't just go in. The one thing good about it, because of their high seed, they're going to play a lower seed, which, hopefully might be a little bit easier game, But if you take that for advantage right there, you could find yourself leaving these playoffs as one of your top seeds in the playoffs and getting beat by somebody that's a very low seed.
Here's another thought, Swag. You've been around a long time, since 1985 here in Santa Monica. And there was a time where these two teams, when districts used to let you play your rival in week number 10, there's Coach David Oliver, has done an outstanding job. They're about to go probably 9-1. But the point I'm trying to make is they used to play on week 10, and then back in the 80s, the thought was that they beat each other up, and they were just mentally worn and physically worn down for the postseason. What are your thoughts on that?
I can just tell you, I just totally disagree with that because, all right, let's just say in a quarterfinal. Shouldn't that be a pretty tough game?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So let's just say Santa Monica beats West Monroe like 50-48 last year in the quarterfinals. Well, that's a tough game, isn't it? So we got to turn around and play the semifinals. And then you might win. You might have to turn around and play the finals. So, this is, if you have a good team and a good program, you definitely have to come every week to play. And I know some of it might be a little bit tough right there, but that's just the way it's got to be. Just think the NFL every week, these are great teams playing.
What a grab by Collier Ricks on 3rd down and 10. And now with EA out of timeouts, Santa Monica's going to run the clock all the way down to 0.
And that's been the big throw, these little old slants. And, for the first time tonight, you see Santa Monica, they look like a little stack with their receivers.
And we've seen this series over the years just go back and forth. Here's Heath. Here's Halen Miller on a nice run. That's all they're trying to do, chew up clock. He got 6 yards. And nobody has won 2 years in a row in a while, but it looks like that streak, it will be snapped tonight.
Just analyzing that play, I thought it was the formation. I'm wondering, okay, why are we stacking these guys? You remember when Miller comes around the end, that outside backer's been been tackling him. One time he threw it out here. You get him a little bit wider on that stack, and he's able to slide up there for about a 6-yard gain.
Been 8 years since someone has won back-to-back years in this series. That was in 08 and 09. East Ascension won 2 years in a row. And that first down run by Cade Nelson is just icing this ball game. As the time of possession in this second half is just going to be unbelievable.
Yeah. And, you might be thinking, okay, Cade Nelson, how many more carries does he need to make right here? Because it's going to be, here you are, you got 7 people in the box.
And Nelson is going to run for 4 more yards. Here's where those timeouts that you had to use along the way, this is where it just, the numbers game's just not at all in your favor. There's just nothing you can do about it. But it has been a hard-fought game. There's been a few personal fouls in the second half, but it just looked like it was aggressive football. And what could have been for EA, that interception in the end zone and the indecision. And that really kind of got this game crazy. And look at Nelson. Boy, Cade has proven where he's so valuable in a situation like this, just putting this game away.
He will be well missed, but the one thing good about it, they have him for possibly 5 more games.
So it looks like Santa Monica is going to have their second consecutive 9-1 season. They were 9-1 a year ago. Their only loss was to Catholic High. They're going to go 9-1 this year with their only loss to Dutchtown.
You get a first down here, you could probably take a knee.
Yep. And there are whistles, so it looks like we're going to get offsides against East Ascension apparently, and that's going to put this thing away.
Let's see if the Gators give that victory signal.
Well, we don't know who will be playing who next week in the first round of the playoffs, but what we do know, we'll have them both right here on the Eatel Game of the Week. Spartans were around the number 3 projected seed. You see, we got volleyball. These two schools are going to play each other again in volleyball tomorrow. The girls will go at it. We'll have that for you on the Eatel Game of the Week. They now take a knee, and they'll only have to do that one more time, and Santa Maria will go to 20-18 all-time in the series between East Ascension and Santa Maria.
This is your favorite play if you're a coach right here, and I know the kids love it. Some of them might want to say, let's score, Coach, but I'm going to tell you what, the ones out there say, man, this is a great play right here.
They snap it. Well, they hadn't snapped it yet. This will be the final snap of this ball game. Well, now they got a whistle, so I'm not sure what that's all about. Five-yard penalty. Any idea what's going on here?
The official is talking to Coach Lee. Sometimes in this situation here, you have linemen that might be calling the snap count out, trying to just get something to happen. Not real sure.
Well, they don't even have to snap it now. This ball game's over with.
Well, they're not running the clock right here. You need to snap it one more time.
And that'll be your final snap. And congratulations to Coach David Oliver and the Santa Maria Gators dominating this second half, overcoming a 3-point deficit at the half. And David Swacker, about what you expected tonight?
Well, I felt like Caden Nelson had to play a big game. There's no doubt. But I just felt like Miller had to come up big tonight, and he really did, and probably in a way that surprises everybody with his feet. And then all of a sudden he makes a couple of really nice throws right there. And defensively, I just think both teams, really played very well, very hard. I think East Ascension's way on the field way too many times, but I just think both teams have a very good chance of doing well in the playoffs. When you have a good defense, you got a chance to win every week.
Well, we'll be back next week with the first round of the Class 5A state playoffs. That's the final. Congratulations to Santa Maria as they defeat East Ascension 22-10 tonight in the 38th meeting between these two schools before a jam-packed stadium here at the Pit. For David Swacker and our Pelican Sports production crew, glad you could join us tonight as we had exclusive coverage of East Ascension and Santa Maria. We'll see you next week. I'm Lyle Boudreau. You have been watching the Eatel Game of the Week. With Santa Maria's win, both teams share the 5-5A district title with 4-1 records and enter the state playoffs the following week. Kate Nelson rushed for 165 yards and 2 touchdowns for the Gators, while quarterback Halen Miller passed for 123 yards. Nelson and Miller each scored second-half touchdowns, and Reed Babin's interception helped preserve the win for the orange-clad home team. Jason Wakefield connected with Shavon Robinson on a 16-yard pass in the second quarter for EA's only touchdown. I'm Lyle Boudreau. Thanks for watching. Also inviting you to join us next week for another edition of Ascension's Glory Days on the Eatel Game of the Week.